Raveen and Namratha. Last time we met was in tour to Kotagiri. We happened to be in the same car. We spent almost how much? 8, 9,
8,
10
9
hours.
hours, yeah, it's a long
10
road.
hours. It was a long journey. Today we are in a different place. It's heartening to know it is your farm. So how did you land up here, both of you in a farm?
First of all, welcome here, Shashi. Welcome to Bilva. So glad you're here today. Um, so, how did we land up here? It's a long story. But long story short, I think it started off as a child. So, my parents used to have these conversations where my dad would pick up, some vegetables from his terrace and bring and say, my mom would say, oh, these are nice. I'll make this sabji today. But, can you grow this so that, I want to try this chutney, pachadi. So I've grown up listening to these conversations and seeing my dad working in the farm so passionately. And I think somewhere some gene got into me and was very passionate about growing all the time. And also after my course on sustainable farming, um, I wanted to do something in farming, like try it out. And that's when I came and told Raveen about it. And I was talking, we were all talking, and that's when my father-in-law casually said, that property is lying vacant, and why don't you do something there, start something. And I think, everybody nodded. It was just a conversation around, a dining table, and everybody nodded, and that's it. It started. Yeah, and it was quite a journey from then to now, how we evolved and how we named the farm and how exciting it was for me, how exciting it was for, I always wanted to bring everybody in, though, they were interested or not, I wanted them here. But, they did come initially, all of us did soil work, including, my parents, my in-laws, our daughter, Raveen, um, made them carry mud, sacks and all of that. And our daughter and I, would have mud bath,
Wow.
initially.
That's
Uh,
right there.
yeah. Yeah, it was such a nice experience, like, building it together. And of course, even today, I have as much passion in being here as much as I did when it started. And um, one thing I must say for sure is I couldn't have done it. Of course, the family was always there, but without our caretakers here, Nasreddy and Nagamma, they have been biggest backbone. I saw that it was an evolution for them as well, in terms of understanding my thought process. Sorry, the philosophy I came into farming with, because obviously their background was very different from the background I came in to start or do farming.
Interesting. Raveen, given your background and arranged marriage, so how come you got into this? You had absolutely no background in farming. That's what
No,
Namrata
no,
tells
no
me.
background in farming, no background in plants,
Okay.
nothing, nothing. So
Yeah.
it started off with as a financial investment.
Yeah.
This,
So I'm not at all surprised.
yeah.
And I'm
So
asking to him to do more. He's not listening.
right. So this was actually we had only that side of it. This
Okay.
side was not with us at all. Only that side.
Okay.
And this was available. And my dad has this eye for in financial investments, especially in real estate. He knows when to buy at the right time and
Wow.
all of that. So this we bought in I don't know 2005,
Yeah, long ago.
6, quite,
Yeah,
quite some
early
time back.
2000s.
Yeah, like it was really thing. And then we did nothing really. There was a very small, I think, house that also took forever to kind of come up, but it was purely financial. And like she said, I think it was actually so the whole thing. We'll come back to the arranged marriage phase because that arranged marriage is very good, and I'll come back to why I think it works. But we had a house in Cambridge, actually apartment, and we had a terrace. She was so interested in plants that at some point there was no way to even enter the terrace. It was so full of plants. And then I was just like, and want to have my parties there. I want to do all of that, but there's no way to enter the terrace at all.
But my point was my dad had so many. I wanted to just replicate it and have as many.
So then when we started discussing that, luckily that's okay. You know what? Let's do it here. So I was like, that was my first thing. So at least the plants will go here. so so that's how actually it's
Yeah,
very
interesting.
it was more about obviously her passion and not killing that was obviously the back of her mind because it was so strong there's no way to stop her from doing anything. The question is how to make it convenient for everybody, and I think this worked out.
Interesting. You wanted to create some party space for yourself.
Exactly.
Okay,
So that
okay, landed here. Oh, interesting.
yeah.
Also, isn't it interesting, Raveen and Namrata? Some of the financial investments when we make in real estate, I think we can actually put very good food growing spaces. We can actually integrate beautiful spaces. What you have done is for me also. It first time I saw this and it's amazing. This is what probably I would want to do. I have not done it, okay. So, but I would want to have a small home around that. Just grow your food, just live there. Was there any thought like that?
Oh yeah.
Enough of Bangalore. Hey, let me come here. Something like that.
Small house, big garden.
Yeah, that was always she always said that.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, let's do it in the city where we live, like not somewhere else. But of course, that's not a reality or possibility. But then this happened, so I'm happy with it.
But how many of in this gated community? How many of they are growing food like you?
Nobody.
Not many.
Okay.
Maybe one or two of them in a very small scale, like a kitchen garden.
Okay.
But not many.
But many people consume from here.
Yeah, they do consume from here. I'm sure they have small kitchen gardens, but not at this scale.
While you have this, let me say, I would not call it as a backyard. It's a proper farm. Okay, it's not a backyard at all. Now almost 3/4 of food at your kitchen coming from this farm. Other day I had the turmeric you gave. I think Shilpa was so excited.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and I also other day when I came for a Reiki, I met some of the customers who came here to pick up. How does it feel like sharing that food?
So yeah, so initially, when we started off, it wasn't for anybody. So we are three families, like us, my in-laws and my sister-in-law's family living in Bangalore. So the idea started off with saying, okay, let's grow food for these three families, right? So when also food, when I said only vegetables, that was the point, where we started. And when we started, I think I must say we started off with a problem of abundance. So there was so much produce. It was our first couple of produce, and we didn't know what to do with it, right? And there was so much of emotional and physical labor that went into growing these that just throwing them out or not consuming was not an option, because I don't know, at least for me, I was very, very emotionally attached to every capsicum, every cucumber and carrot. So then after our consumption, we just started giving it to our friends and, extended family if there were any. And then that's how the whole idea of, okay, this food can be shared has, come in. Till then it was, never a thought actually.
Interesting. Other day when I came, I think we had a long conversation on how the food looks. Okay, it's a difficult conversation, especially if you grow in a setup like this where you refuse to get outside sprays, okay, outside manure, and you're trying to make in situ manure, even refusing to use cow dung as a manure. That's a very bold approach. But any of these decisions have to do with your daughter coming in your life? Did it influence?
I think so. Yeah, I think in a big way. I think I think we all, I mean, you know how fatherhood, motherhood, what it does to people, right? I think you become a lot more, your emotional side, I think, it seems to wake up a little more. But it had a lot to do with the type of food that we would be kind of serving her. Even when she was actually the Cerelac days also, we Cerelac was very small part of her diet. Um, a lot of it was just mashed apple and this and that, right? Um, I think she's central to the decision in many ways.
Yeah, yeah. Also, for me, it's about again going. I don't know. For me, is about how I grew up versus how I'm bringing up my daughter. So when of course our daughter was small, my dad used to remove tulsi seeds, dry them, and make laddus out of it and feed her. They saying immunity would improve. So in that, it was so intricate into how detailed he went into, right? So even for me, it was important that that continued for her.
Beautiful. And I also see a lot of times when I'm talking, your daughter is the central to your thought. Oh, she has to go to school in the morning. She has to eat certain things, right? And now farm also becoming that center to your life now.
Yes. So I try to come here every Friday so that I maintain the connection, and also um,
We get vegetables.
we get vegetables, of course, because it is a little distance from
Yes.
home. So every week we do get when I come, I take vegetables home. So when I don't come here, I feel that something I have missed doing something. It's like this feeling where when you don't eat for 2 days, you're like, oh God, I've missed eating, right? It's like that for me. If I don't come often enough, then I'm not calm in my mind. So it has come to that.
Ravin, do you really connect what's growing in the farm, or you can feel that when you eat food?
Can I feel that when I eat food? Um, you can. I think certain things that taste are definitely different. I wouldn't say every single time. I mean, it's hard with all the masalas, and not that we use too much masala, but even with the little, I think it's hard to tell. But I think certain vegetables which I would never eat, actually from here they come, they're actually a lot more tolerable and much better, right? So,
Like ridge guard, for example.
Rich guard is one. Even the birakai, what is birakai?
Yeah,
The-
ridge guard only.
Rich guard, okay, that, okay. Right, I
The-
hate, but when it comes to me, it's actually not bad.
yeah.
So there is something.
Also, other day when I was walking, I saw you started growing broccoli.
Yeah.
You're able to grow it.
Yeah, it it doesn't look perfect, but
Mm.
it tastes very good. In fact, there was broccoli and upma that you all ate.
Yes.
We ate this morning. Yeah, so every meal, whatever comes from the farm, if it's used, I make it a point to tell everybody at the dinner table what all has come from the farm, so that like while I am connected, that is my way of keeping them connected to the farm, saying, okay, this is what has come. This is from outside. This is from home. So even the dals when we cook, the tuar dal, urad dal, the green moong dal, then sesame seeds. We grow all of these methi seeds. Um, so I keep telling them, like, I have an ingredient list where I say, okay, this is from the farm. This vegetable is from the farm. So that's how I know that 70% of the produce comes from the farm, because while I'm telling them, I'm also making that note in my head that, okay, all of these look, wow, okay, not bad.
Yeah.
Also coming a little bit on others able to do what you're doing. Do you think it's very practical? People have a small home or a maybe big home, have a small kitchen garden or a extended garden. Um, Maybe they spend a couple of hours a day. They would be able to grow their food.
That's the most idealistic society or community I would envision. People spending time in their backyards growing. But I think in today's uh, fast-paced world, that may not be a possibility for everybody, uh, because of course, actually home sizes don't matter. Even if there's a backyard or not, doesn't matter. They can grow on their terraces, which we did before we even started off. um, but there are growing population who are becoming more and more aware about what they want to eat and what they are eating. And of course, some certain section of that aware, community is already growing as much as they can, even if it's in balconies. Or I know a few people who just grow, palak. There is no sunlight in their balcony, but the palak comes out like straight. And then they say, "Oh, I grew palak, 2 leaves came." They're very happy about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's the joy of growing, not how much you're growing, but it's just the joy of growing is increasing.
And both of you doesn't have a farming background. Parents don't have a farming background, but you're dealing with memories, what dad did. And how did you name this farm Bilva?
Yeah, so I keep discussing this with Raveen all the time. Children always, doesn't matter which generation, they always, grow up seeing the parents, what they do, how they do, right? I mean, I think I fall into the same category. I've grown up seeing my parents do what they did. And I think when I reflect back, I'm just, reflecting, reciprocating it, to my family and my child. Again, the whole naming comes from, my growing up background. Bilva is my parents' favorite tree.
Wow.
So, and then my dad used to grow a lot of bilva, gift lot of bilvas. In fact, in our colony back in Hyderabad, there is every house has a bilva tree. It's because they did a lot of tree planting. The parks have bilva, and in fact, when he went to Sri Salem, once he got Mahabilva, and he, gave it to everybody. And so again, I started researching when we wanted to name the farm. I asked everybody, I wanted to name it because we have a forest. I want to name it as a forest name or something. But then somehow, it's like it's not a scientific way of bringing a name out, right? Nothing clicked. Nothing was. I was not connecting to any name. So suddenly this thing clicked, saying, why don't I name it Bilva? Right? Because Bilva, I have grown up hearing Bilva, Bilva, Bilva so much. I said, okay, let me call it Bilva. So that's how.
Interesting. So both of you not having background in farming and arranged marriage, and able to connect with some childhood memories. Coming here and sitting in between a Miyawaki. How did you create this Miyawaki here? This was interesting.
Yeah.
This came from your reading, no?
Yeah. So I keep reading quite a bit about new techniques, new ways of farming, or trying to talk to people who are into this field, and that one. And of course, it's a no-brainer that a farm should have trees to hold the soil, right? And I didn't want to randomly do tree plantation, but wanted to do something different. I'm very experimental in nature. So I just wanted to experiment on something on how to grow trees, and I was looking at what are the different methods, and I came across this Miyawaki method, and luckily, a friend of mine uh, is already doing Miyawaki plantations in Uttarakhand. So Manvendra is you know uh, he's an alumni from my college, and we connected, and he from there he told me how to create. Then we actually we didn't I didn't want to do it. He also shared the similar thought, they saying we didn't want to do it just like one-on-one classes. He said, anyway, I'm teaching you or I'm talking to you, why don't we invite other people who may be interested in a similar process. Then we just spread the news out, and we had 500 people attend the session. And of course, it was good for him also, because he was he was parting his knowledge, and I knew at the same time many people actually created this Miyawaki forest. And that's when we did the planning of this, the seating, everything. And it was COVID time. We already postponed it twice, and for me, if it has to happen, it has to happen. And then I said it's not working out because it's COVID. So I remember I just came alone. The house also wasn't there that time. There was just a single room. I came, stayed here. Nurse Reddy, Nagamma were there. Then we got the JCB. All that digging happened, and we called in for volunteers. We had 20 of them come over in spite of COVID, peak COVID that too. This was in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, 2020 July. Then it was nice. We had music, we had food. Everybody was,
Everyone wanted to
enjoying.
come out also of the house, I think.
Yeah,
And this was a good reason. So we all were here, and it
the
was
whole
fun. Yeah.
family was there, and volunteers. It was nice. So we planted about 450 saplings that time, and I haven't counted on how many survived, but looks like they are
Decent.
still there.
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it? Very simple thoughts of just growing food can take you in the path of um, so much knowing, so much experimentation. I can understand maybe some connection with connection of you with your dad about you going to Sri Shailam and getting Mahabilwa and distributing in the community. So, Namrata, from a learning point of view, do you think a lot of people around you, maybe in your circles, they're asking about you, hey, can I also do it? Is it doable? And if we do, what are the problems we'll face? People, any questions like that for you in your circles?
Yeah, actually,
All
quite.
the time.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
yeah. Because initially when we started off, people were amazed. They're like, "Oh, how can you do this? Like, how is it? How does it work?" So, and obviously they, like how we went through stages, they also went through stages along with us. Our friend circle, and they started understanding why it is important to eat good food. Why is it important? Then we started, discussing about growing versus buying from the market, right? So buying from the market, I'm not saying it's bad as long as you know where you're buying from,
The source.
the
Yeah.
source of it, right? So I think that's what everybody started understanding, and we could actually see quite a change in a lot of our friends, uh, you know in terms of their food choices, in terms of why they are making those choices today. And a lot of people, few of them would come and say, how is it possible? How, can I do it as well? But most of them would say, can I buy from you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What inspired me was that customer walking in the other day when I was here to do Wiki, and they would not buy vegetables anywhere from anywhere else other
Yeah.
than you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are
That,
many
that,
like that.
that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, there's one more person, actually, not just one, a lot more, who would just buy vegetables from us.
Yeah, nice.
And they don't buy anywhere. If we don't grow it, they don't eat that vegetable.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if I myself have so much of, dedication towards what we grow. But they just tell me, I mean, actually that inspires me more and more when they tell me that, Namrita, the produce that you give us and we cook, reminds me of, what my mother used to make for me. I think for a farmer, that's the best compliment anybody can get, right? I mean, best compliment a farmer can
Yes.
get.
Yeah, yeah.
Also not just customers, we I think, try to influence a lot of farmers in
Yes.
around this
Yeah.
area. Um, we have a lot of farmer
Oh.
connect. Because we go to the santes, and of course I was never present physically, but the connect to Bilva is through Narsidi because he represents us,
Okay.
and I would like that for him, because then he also needs to be interested in growing and being true to our beliefs of growing naturally, right? So there are a lot of people who actually come back to him, ask him, "Oh, how are you doing it?" They all actually, real farmers, come here to understand how we are growing, why we are able to grow so much.
Amazing.
Right, and also the Sante, there is a Sante group, so they bring customers here to show that yes, we are growing, so that the customers can buy from us
trust.
confidently,
Amazing.
build that trust
Yeah.
with them.
I think your journey, at least for me, after first day when I came here and I saw, it's not a small effort. It's a lifetime of an effort. What you have created in 3/4 of an acre. Not Raveen coming from investment background and allowing not to put buildings but farm. That's amazing. I think yeah.
Yeah, and this statement coming for you means a lot to us.
Yes. Yes.
you have taken a path, a philosophical path, not to even use cow dung as a manure. Okay, now you say it's a vegan farm. First time I heard, okay, vegan food I know. I didn't know the vegan farm. Can you tell something about that? What's happening?
Actually, I was a little skeptical to tell you about vegan farming because you all into
Yeah.
selling milk and all of that. But yeah, actually, it was also an accidental. It was a journey again, an accidental one. So initially, we just followed, you know, usual method. I mean, when the farm started, one thing very clear was it's a no chemical farming for sure. So what kind of farming other than chemical we would do was the experiments that we have been doing over its inception. So we started with zero budget natural Subhash Palekar sir's methodologies. So we did Jivamruta, Ghana Jivamruta, then we did all that Kashayam and all. We used to make everything at home. We used to go into the nearby forest, scout for all the leaves. Then we had drums set up. Um, Again, all of that was like a family event. My parents would come, they would come. We used to put it all together, and then we made a schedule of when what should be sprayed, all of that. Then it evolved. We don't have cows here because this being a layout, animals. I don't know how the society, the locality, people will take it.
Yeah.
So then we didn't have cows. So one of our farmers, known farmers close by, he has a Malnad Gidda, Anil, whom you met.
Anil I met, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So we used to go to Anil's house, and it was very difficult to time the, cows, timing and our arrival so that we could get fresh dung. And we would call Anil multiple times and say, oh, you take the fresh urine, keep it. So it was getting very tedious, very, taxing actually. And also it was financially very intensive because every time, and these distances is not small. I mean, there's no traffic, but it's at least like 20 kilometers, to go and come back, like 20, 40 kilometers. So yeah, then slowly we did it for a couple of years, and then we said, like, it's not working out. It's that stress on a continuous basis is not possible to take. So then we said, okay, forget it. Let's not do cow dung. We will not do. So that was just a decision on the spur where, we generally have these meetings between three of us, myself, Narsireddy and Nagamma. We decide what to plant where. And so sweetly, when we have these meetings, Nasreddy gets a call and he said, I'm on a strategy meeting with my madam.
I love it.
They're so cute. So he says, I'm on a strategy meeting with my madam. I'll call you back. I mean, of course, in Canada. But yeah, so, on one of those strategy meetings, we suddenly decided, okay, forget it. We are not doing any more cow dung and cow urine. Then we all three agreed on that. And we said, okay, now this was a big decision. Let it be. Then we'll see what to do. Right. Then we go back. He does his homework. I do my homework. We, read up and everything. And we find that mulching is the best way to, take it forward. And we started mulching as much. So every time in the layout there is a leaf cutting or they sweep the leaves, we spoke to all the labor and we tell them to drop it in our thing. So everything, all the leaf is dropped. And even here we got a wood cutting machine that, the chipper machine.
Pulverizer, yeah.
Pulverizer, correct. And yeah, we use all of that. And now it's been 4 years.
Wow.
Since we have not used any external input at all, including cow dung and cow urine.
Beautiful. No, so therefore, the other day you were saying a lot of people now visiting you to see your vegan farm.
Yeah. They're surprised, like how, first of all, as you said, people heard of being vegan. And the interesting thing is how I realized we are doing vegan farming is more interesting than actual vegan farming.
Raveen, given your background in investing, do you think these kind of initiatives, maybe they succeed, they fail, we don't know, okay? Do you think there's a space exist, at least to leave something behind? uh, just again, philosophically thinking, I'm not asking you to commit.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, yeah. See, the present structure, I think, doesn't allow for all of this, right? It requires patient capital, like similar to what Rain Matter did with Akshayakalpa, right? Um, I think individuals, and now individual wealth is also so much. Individuals should start, I think, committing to some of these, and this will eventually lead to, venture capital or private equity kind of being able to, I think, look at some of these very, very differently, right? Um, Today, whether it's venture capital or private equity, they're all closed-ended structures. You have to give returns in 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, whatever, right? That puts a lot of pressure. But like what she's doing, like we had no goal to make money here. There was no, it was more about figuring out and backing in some ways. Like when I think about, like, backing the right person, right? Or when Real Madam was backing you, right? You back the right person and good things happen. So, but that requires patient capital, because these things are your it's a new path. But if you're able to figure out a path and maybe a formula, maybe there's a potential for this to become mainstream.
Well, just going back to some of the thoughts you had on, for example, concepts like zero budget natural farming, even to the extent of organic farming, natural farming. There are a lot of nomenclatures around there on farming. Um, None of these nomenclatures existed probably 100 years back.
Yeah.
There was no nomenclature, just farming. Okay, and we from hunter gatherers we became farmers, and we settled down. We started farming, and we started having food. Do you think it's creating a lot of confusion people had on what is food itself? Does it create a lot of confusion in your mind, Namrata?
Not specifically for me, but I see that happening with consumers. So one is, again, they get confused between what they should eat. So a lot of times the confusion is so much is like, forget it, let me just buy it from my next door grocery store, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, there is a value in all of these philosophies, but it's also, again, it's like this junk food, right? Just confusing us what is right, what is wrong. So I think as a farmer, I'm very clear about what I want, uh, because as I already mentioned, I'm very experimental in nature. If something new comes up, some new philosophy comes up, I'll take it up, I'll try. If it works for me, I'll continue it. Otherwise, I'll drop and try to look for something else. Right? But as a consumer, how do I really understand what is the farmer doing, right? It is, as you rightly said, it's pesticide free, but it has fertilizers
Yes.
which are okay for the soil and for the fruit to grow. So it is actually very confusing.
What do you think in your circles, especially investment circles?
Actually, I think it's not confusing for the consumer. I mean, it can be, but I think consumer doesn't think so much, right? The consumer is saying, is it safe for me or not, right? Yes, organic means safe. Everything else means there's pesticide, right? Confusion is in people who are trying to make this transition through knowledge. Then you read half, you don't read half, then you get very confused, right? So someone like me, who's like, okay, dude, I don't care. Just so I think at some level it needs to be simplified. I think what we are the many of us, I think, sitting here are the what we call the early kind of majority, right? Or the early uh, people are trying some of these very, very early on, right? If we are able to actually make sense of it very, and build a make it simple, right? I think for people to adopt after that, the late majority, or what do they call it, I think that'll become very simple. But we ourselves, I think, are confusing it for ourselves. Like she says, vegan farm, organic, then this, then that, natural farm, which is good, which is not good. Uh, I think at some level, we all need to realize that some things are safe and some things are not safe. That's all I think matters, right? Whether it's vegan or whether it's natural or whether it's organic, it doesn't matter. All these are safe. Everything else is unsafe. I think if we are able to all simplify it with one label, the early adopters, I think we can
Yeah,
do something big.
maybe what I was coming at is farming itself is a philosophy, is of growing food. Um, But maybe to your point, maybe you should label. You should arrive at a label called good food.
Good food, like what
Okay,
you have,
good food
correct.
label. Okay, and we also name ourselves as organic. But for me, it's a soil management. Is fundamental to Akshayakalpa's existence.
Yeah.
Um, other than that, we don't want harp too much on organic. So you are managing your soil well, everything is well, in my opinion. So therefore, we integrate animals, we integrate beekeeping. Also interesting that when slugs infected your area, what happened? You bought some chicken, is it, to eat them?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Oh, it's a story by itself.
Yeah.
But as you said, Shashi, it's yeah, soil. Even for us at Bilva, soil is the main thing that we care for, right? Once we care for the soil, all this that you see today is just, the soil is giving. It's not that we did anything. And I always compare soil with the human body. Like how we take care of our body, how we make sure it's getting nutrients, how we make sure that we, exercise and avoid, getting diseases or infections, like prevention. We treat the soil the same way. It's as is my body, the soil is such for me. So that's how we treat it. Like what kind of inputs, that we give. Uh, for the availability that we have here, we provide as much as we can so that it stays healthy. Right, but of course, these slugs and snails, I believe, is a symptom of a lack that is there in the soil, which we are trying to figure out. But interestingly, so we used to plant tomatoes, watermelons, and whatever saplings. And again, in our strategy discussion, we would say, Nasradi Nagamma would say, we planted this. I said, okay, good, good, good. And that day ends. Next morning, early morning, like 6:30, 7 o'clock, I get a call. Like, madam, we planted everything. Nothing is there today. I'm like, why? What happened? Who came? Somebody took it. Like, what? Like, we have no idea. And this went on for 6 months with no idea about where these samplings are disappearing overnight.
Wow.
Then one fine day, again, one early morning call, and then he says, I saw something, it's coming out of the soil. I think they are the ones that are eating. Then we figured out, we asked people, then we realized it's slugs and snails. Then no, we thought it was snails. Then slowly, then after we understood snails, slugs came into the picture. Then we said, okay, how to now,
Without
there's
using
so many
chemicals.
of them, how to get it out. There's so many that we would harvest in a week, probably like 15 kgs of slugs and snails, right?
Lot of protein.
Yeah, so coming back to the story, then we didn't know what to do. We were trying all kinds of things, and at one point, there was some chemical chalk piece sticks. So we put them also. Then they would eat them and fall unconscious. Then we had to pick them up and throw them somewhere else. Then we decided, okay, this is not working out. Let's get chickens, because chickens will eat on the protein, and then they'll poop that.
Okay.
Both problems will be solved. We got chickens, and it was kind of under control.
Okay.
But neighbors complained, saying, they were making too much
Okay.
noise. So we had to
Okay.
give them away. Now we are
But they were
back
very
to
noisy. There was
yeah,
one. What is the big one called?
cock.
The
Something. I
cock.
don't
Yeah,
remember
the
the name.
cock was like
Yeah, it was making
very noisy fellow.
So
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, somehow we are managing right now with whatever we are doing. But yeah.
We do a lot of beekeeping, by the way. Why have not any beekeeping here?
I know I would love to, but again,
Neighbors.
we have a constraint of our location. We are in a layout, we have neighbors.
Okay.
People are very scared of, what happens if the bee goes haywire.
Namratha and Raveen, from morning, I've been chatting a little bit why you came here and philosophy behind some of the things what you are doing
Yes.
here. Now that philosophy, how you have taken it to action, okay, a little bit want to discuss. I see here, it's almost like a food forest, starting from bananas, okay, to pumpkins, to overgrown gangura, to okay, a little bit of a dals, okay, cabbage. I saw broccoli. I saw, okay, even
Chilies here.
chilies here.
Yeah.
I think you
So
can name,
great.
you got avre, you can say avre there also, field beans, carrots,
Yeah.
all of it,
Yeah.
okay. You can imagine a kitchen would need.
Yeah.
And in the process, of course, you would have faced some challenges, okay. Also, people who understand farming, they come to spaces like this, they want to see some order. Oh, it needs to be orderly, it should be looking good. In fact, nature doesn't care. It's in order or disordered. Nature actually grows food.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you in terms of when you went about doing it, what are the challenges? Starting from your famous chicken story, I just love it. Okay.
Yeah, it's funny that you said people want it orderly because I wanted it too.
Yeah.
Because as a personality, while I'm, adventurous and I like experimenting, I'm also a perfectionist, which he says is not a good trait to
It's a
be,
good trait. Yeah.
not a good trait to have.
Shashi also has that problem.
Yeah. So he knows,
Yeah.
what I must have gone through. Yeah, so when I started, I wanted everything clean and, everything swept, kept clean, no insects, no animal, but then it took a lot of time for me to understand why it is important that a farm should not be perfect, right? I mean, for reasons we all know. So when you said challenges, if I say abundance was my challenge, I think people will be surprised. But it really was a challenge because when we started off, our first produce, I think we had about 300 kgs of vegetables,
Wow.
which we had no idea about what to do, because all we could consume was probably 5 kilos each, like 15 kgs between the three families, as I mentioned. Um, so actually that continued, the abundance continued for first 1 year with so many vegetables, and that's when we started thinking of how do we reduce wastage, because while we were giving it to our friends, distributing vegetables to our friends, it was also a lot of work for us, because I'm sure Raveen remembers all the 300 vegetables would come home. We pack in one. I would make everybody sit, pack one kilo of everything in packets, and then send the driver or somebody. Those days there was Dunzo, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would send it to friends. It was expensive for us because we were sending it, not that anybody was asking. Um, and also the process was very time consuming, and all of that. So then we started thinking on how do we work on that, how do we reduce so that we don't produce so much that what we cannot consume. Then we started thinking, because we are producing perishables, and the produce is so much, we are struggling. So what if we produce something which can stay longer, right? So that's when we thought about, growing potatoes, onions, which have a little more shelf life than uh, cabbage, broccoli, and, cauliflowers, right? So that's how we got into growing pulses. So we grow tur dal, urad dal, chana dal, then menthi seeds, coriander seeds, then sesame seeds,
Wow.
ground nuts, kabuli chana, black chana. Actually, a lot more. Right now, these are on top of my list, but a lot more actually. And that's when we started diversifying. So we reduced the quantity of
Curcumin.
vegetables, cucumbers,
Curcumin.
curcumin, or I mean
Wow.
turmeric.
Turmeric.
Yeah. So talking about one biggest challenge, you know, where the family would challenge me is we are all watermelon lovers, and then you
Yes.
want to say that
No,
story?
no, no. Not a 1 year, no. So 1 year, it all started because 1 year she only experimented on watermelon, and we were all in another house, and then she brought that watermelon. It was
I think 15 kgs.
Wow.
gigantic,
Wow.
gigantic, but it was super tasty. It was so good. But literally, after we've not had, it's like that. There's no watermelon. So like you say, where is this watermelon?
So they would say, if you are a farmer, you grow watermelon and show us. Otherwise, you're not a farmer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So till now, I have not been a farmer.
Yeah,
According
that
to
watermelon has not come after that. That 15 kilos, I think only once.
I don't know why I just cannot grow watermelon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So in the process, you might have faced a lot of challenges. Did everything you put it started growing, or you had some challenges?
Not really, not really. There were a lot of challenges with weather patterns, with animals, monkeys, then we had rodents, then squirrels. And then, we had pests, as I said, slugs, snails, and other pests, mealybugs and all of those. So the smaller ones were manageable, at least with sprays that we did, or the pheromone traps or sticky pads. But the bigger ones were monkeys. Even today, actually, when we were not shooting, we were discussing how to, we should get a dog, and then so that at least monkeys get scared. So we're still, trying to see how we can.
Monkeys are still coming, is it?
There are lots of them,
Yeah,
and they're
Nandi Hills has
very
a lot of monkeys.
intelligent.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
Interesting.
very intelligent. We've, I think, almost lost every crop of sweet corn that we planted for
Wow.
monkeys. But when we still plant, because we also, think that we have occupied their space, it's important. They also have, some space to eat. Yeah.
That realization, initially it was there, or it started coming in, saying that, hey, you're part of that ecosystem. They will also come. Maybe you have to share some of it.
Yeah, I think that
Al-
thought process was always
always
there, always there, but not to an extent that we would leave everything for monkeys,
Ah.
because we were not getting anything at all. So we are trying to see where to bring that balance. Also, like, we also get some, they also take some, and other challenges, surprisingly, was theft.
Mm.
Theft of vegetables. And
Okay.
yeah, the problem was not just about theft, because there were a lot of workers. Obviously, they would come and take, which we were okay with, but they would come and break the tree. They would
Okay.
spoil, break something, then the tree is gone waste. So then we started approaching them and said, you know what, if you want, you come ask, we will give. That's how we made peace with them. So even today, if somebody come, they'll take whatever they want and go.
Interesting.
So we are like, don't spoil the tree, don't break the tree. Just take what you want. We're okay with it.
But I see you've grown amazing papayas. Banana has come out very well.
Banana has come out well.
Moringa has come out very well.
Yeah.
And I also see a lot of forestry. You have put it on the boundary.
Yeah.
And also I see one beautiful mango, okay, out there next to your Miyawaki.
Yeah.
And
thanks for the
Miyawaki
story.
forest. And also you see your father's herbal garden,
Yes.
okay, probably. So it's coming back to its original shape.
Yeah.
And
we also have cinnamon,
okay,
cloves, then lavang.
okay.
Then we have bay leaf.
Ma'am,
Okay,
you know
bay
what you
leaf,
should talk
okay.
about?
Yeah.
The water problem that we had.
Yeah, that's another
that's a big one.
biggest challenge. So
No, as in I'm talking the flow of
flow of
water.
water.
Yeah,
A couple of years ago, when we had excessive rains in Bangalore, so the whole thing was flooded. We lost all the crops that year. So we actually planted, I think, about half an acre. We planted potatoes that year. We lost the whole crop of potatoes. So then we started thinking, so what happened was, because it's a layout and there's a house next to our farm, water from their land also started flowing into ours. And because we didn't rise it, we just left it the way it is. So then we spoke to some experts, and we applied some permaculture techniques. We created
Channels.
trenches.
Yeah, trenches.
We created trenches, and we actually understood the layout of the land, how it is flowing, and created trenches
topography, yeah.
accordingly, the topography. And then from then on, of course, there were no excessive rains, but also we made sure no water that falls on the ground is flowing out of the land. So everything was getting absorbed here. So that's how we created it.
Some of the trenches we see, they are the
They are the
ones
trenches
where you have filled in a lot of
mulch.
agricultural waste.
Yeah,
all of it you have put in there.
Yes, we did.
Interesting.
And we also not left that trench area just like that. So we planted water.
All your bananas, they are on the
Bananas
trench.
are on that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I understand. Amazing. So you can
Yeah.
see it has created a pattern
Yeah.
of bananas.
Yeah, because
And
all the,
so interesting.
yeah.
So you
So-
had some challenges in growing some crops.
So it's, again, till now, I don't know why this happened.
Okay.
So we were planting, we were growing peanuts. So in that whole area, that's almost like, I think, about 2,000 square feet. So there's just one stretch of from that end to this end where peanuts wouldn't grow, but rest of the area it grows. So we thought, okay, maybe because of slug snails, maybe something coming and eating. Even if some animal is coming and they're not so perfect that just exactly that line they would eat and go. So till now we haven't figured out why, but then we changed the crop and now that crop grows. So these are like all interesting challenges that we had. And of course, as I mentioned, slugs and snails is the most happening challenge as on today. Yeah, so along with all the vegetables that we grow, we also harvest slugs and snails.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But I also see you are growing cabbages. The cabbages are the most sprayed vegetable out there. Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay, from
And cauliflower also.
cauliflower also,
Yes.
cabbages, and so you're able to grow here. So maybe a lot of imperfections. Okay, you're able to
Yeah.
accept those imperfections.
Yes, we are okay with the shapes and everything. So our cauliflowers are not big; they're very, very small. So the benchmark that we gave ourselves initially, because initially when we started off, our cabbages and cauliflowers had a lot of pests, right? So we gave ourselves a benchmark that if the cabbages and if the cauliflowers are not, are not pest infected, that means that's the measure for me of the soil.
Beautiful.
Right. So the day the cauliflower gets infected, that means I have to stop everything, start working on the soil. That means I'm doing something wrong. So once we started with that benchmark, we have maintained it. So that's the cabbage and cauliflower that you see today, and I can confidently say there will not be insects in my cauliflower.
Wow, amazing. But it took some time.
It took 3 years.
3 years is
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
From the day we realized that, that as a challenge,
Okay.
it took us 3 years to get to where we are
Wow.
today. Yeah.
What do you say, Raveen? You're even the
Amazing.
one pest is taking 3 years to understand. You want your return on investment on 3 years?
3 years, I know. No, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
I think, and that is a challenge, I think, in
Yeah.
this, right? And that's why so few people
Mm.
end up taking it up.
Yeah. Very
Uh,
interesting. So, her boldness of trying to go on grow food and trying to feed that one to our family, and that watermelon story is a beautiful story, no? Isn't it? So she could grow one, but afterwards she couldn't grow.
yeah.
So now we are all thinking food is watermelons for us is given for granted,
Yeah.
throughout the year these days we eat watermelons.
Yes.
That's crazy,
That's
okay?
crazy.
And so many imperfections in midst of that. Namrata is trying to make her family eat good food. But the same realization of the challenges, for example, she's just standing in front of a pumpkins, couple of pumpkins out there. You can see there.
Yeah.
Such a big pumpkin here. You can see there.
Yes.
Such a huge pumpkin. Namrata, you want to show us?
Yeah.
Okay, see?
So
I'll make some
these
space.
are not the regular standard pumpkins.
Yes.
I call them zucchini pumpkins. That's how we communicate because I have to tell Nasreddin Agama what variety.
Okay.
Then I have to tell them, yeah, zucchini pumpkin, then, yellow pumpkin.
Yeah.
So we made our own nomenclature
Okay.
of, what we grow.
It might be weighing 5 kgs. Namrata, you want to lift and show
Yeah,
us?
at least.
Wow,
Yeah.
she's, yeah, it's a
Oh, you're
big
strong,
one.
luckily.
Yeah, it's a
The
big
gym
one.
is working.
Yeah, the gym is working.
So,
Yeah, we have one more there. Yeah, multiple
Oh,
of
here,
them.
Yeah.
there's a yellow.
There's a small one there.
Yeah.
do you know that this vegetable, such an amazing vegetable, you can keep it for 1 year.
Yeah.
Correct,
You
correct.
can
We used
harvest
to-
and keep it, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Lot of misunderstanding on the pumpkin itself.
Yeah.
In my farm also, way back when we stayed in Magdi, we used to grow a lot of pumpkins, small pumpkins. We call it as naughty pumpkins. They're a little bit yellowish small. And we used to grow in the season and harvest and keep it in atta. Atta means attic.
Yeah.
Okay. You eat throughout the year.
Wow.
see, such a food systems can be created. It doesn't get spoiled, no preservatives required.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we also use this as live mulch
Yes.
most of the time.
and so you're also growing amazing amount of moringa.
Yeah. So last crop we had 150 kgs of drumsticks.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
now again it started flowering.
Yeah, it started flowering. We also use a lot of moringa leaf in
Okay.
our own cooking.
Understood.
Yeah, a lot of people start asking for moringa leaves
Okay.
now and then. And we have a lot of fruit trees also that we have planted. We have oranges, we have avocados.
I can see lemon there.
Yeah,
Lime.
lime. And then we have mango, actually 4-5 varieties of mangoes. Then we have, what else do we have? Avocado.
Gongura.
Gongura is, yeah, the leafy.
Yeah.
But we have nallikai.
Nallikai, okay.
And these two that you see here is rudraksha.
Yes.
Oh, actually, we don't have any here, but we've got 5,000 rudrakshas.
Wow.
Trimukhi rudraksha, which my parents-in-law and my mom, they went to Varanasi recently.
Wow.
So we sent it to Varanasi,
beautiful.
all the rudrakshas. And yeah, we have chili. So anybody actually who comes here, I don't know, this is not happening today, but chili bhaji, what Nagamma
world
makes
famous.
is world famous.
So you can see amazing chilies here.
Yeah.
These might not look very great, but it serves the purpose.
And actually, if you break it, this is how I measure the.
Okay. Yeah.
This is very spicy if you smell it.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
It's spicy. It's pungent. It's.
And those are the bhaji chilies. So
Okay.
what she does, Nagamma, is just plucks them from here, slices them, puts them in the thing like it's fresh, like
Okay.
from the tree to the on
Actually,
the
if you're
stump.
here for some time, those leaf bhajis,
Yeah,
she
she makes
some leaf.
omam leaf bhajis also. They are also very good.
But
Yeah.
Raveen, these kind of articulations, does it change your heart as an investor?
It changes my heart as an investor.
Yeah, as a consumer eating food, yes.
No, I have a lot more appreciation when people say that some things take time, right? In the startups or in our daily life, we're so used to instant gratification, right? But these things actually has in my head, I see these things take time. Things take time, and it's okay, right? And in fact, some of our best companies uh, are built over longer periods of time, right? The ones that have immediate success, in fact, they also fall very quickly. So I think in many ways, I can't say like I one to one, but I think as a person, I think it's helped me understand that better.
Yeah, for example, this is how many years now you have been growing food?
Since 2018.
2018. Okay, that's not a small amount of time. Okay,
Yeah.
and have you ever thought, hey, enough of this, I'm done with it?
I always think I want more.
Yeah. Now, just now we're talking about saying, there's somewhere there's some 2-3 acres. Let's get that also. I want to do
That's
fruit forest there.
amazing.
Yeah, because
That's craziness. Yeah.
I actually second what Raveen said, because I feel since this journey started as on today, I feel like I have changed as a person. What I was then to what I'm now. I mean, at least internally, I feel, I don't know what people feel about me, but the soil keeps me grounded. It taught me to be patient, to be not
You can't
to.
force it.
Yeah, it happens, it has to happen. So in fact, the challenge that we took up, so last year we had about 70 kgs of tuar dal.
Wow.
And what about 100 kgs of turmeric.
The
Regular, no,
turmeric
not
again,
not the black
black one.
turmeric,
Okay.
the regular yellow turmeric.
Okay.
We had about 100 kilos. And it sold like hotcake, because obviously 100 kilos we cannot consume. After giving it to all friends and family, whatever was left, we gave it. And it just sold off in a day, like 100 kg. Like, let's say, okay, even 15 kgs we consumed, rest of it got sold in a day. So then we gave ourselves a challenge that this year we at least grow 100 kgs plus of both tuar dal and turmeric. But I don't think we are going to have any harvest of turmeric this year. because of multiple reasons, because of untimely showers, because of the soil, whatever has changed. And we lost a lot of, togare plantation for the snails. A lot of it got eaten, so we replanted, then the timing changed. So, yeah, I mean, the challenge got pushed to next year. Next year, we'll, take more measures to make sure, we reach it. But does that mean I need to be depressed and sad? I've learned from
Yeah,
what
but
mistakes we
also
have
so
done.
many things are not under our control, which
Yeah.
is
But one point you see, I can see a lot of togri. I know the snails have eaten a lot of it, but the yield is quite good.
Yield is
It's
good.
quite good.
Yeah, yeah.
Whichever is survived,
Yield is
it's
good.
been bounty. I should say they are bent, and
Yeah.
there's such an yield you can see there. It's fully bent. Maybe it kg and half 2 kgs of togri in
Each, yeah.
that entire plant.
Yeah, because all the empty spaces that you see, they were all planted with
Yes.
togare, because all of that got eaten up.
Correct. I see
And
some beets there. I see some
yeah,
carrots there.
that's why
Yeah.
we're using it for,
Okay.
vegetables, but otherwise this whole stretch was supposed to be like togare. And in fact, last year there were parrots coming and eating up the togare, so we had to, put the rope around so that they don't come. But we left one portion of it for the, birds. The rest of it we covered.
You, as a farmer, you try to grow. Redigaro has been with you, helping you here. Would we be able to find that kind of a collaboration? Able to find one person whom you can work with. And I know, you live in Bangalore, and Raveen is busy, and you are busy with your work with children. Trying to empower them. Um, uh, Trying to understand their life. Can this experiment be repeated by? I call this as an experiment because deliberately, a lot more people is. Do you think it's viable? People can do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I think there is a, growing community of growers. Like I am myself part of so many groups where knowledge is being shared. Questions are asked. Oh, this is working. This is not working. What do I do? There is a growing community of people who are interested in growing. Right, the collaboration is absolutely possible. Um, what needs, what is needed for people today is just an eye to, or that interest to start doing it.
But would you feel proud to say yourself a farmer?
oh yeah, she always says
Yeah,
farmer.
I don't,
Her introduction is that.
yeah.
Okay.
So in our previous conversation we were thinking about how farming, how our friends or look down upon, oh, what is this, what's wrong with you, why are you growing?
Yes.
I was very insecure that time, to say that I grow, I'm a farmer. But slowly what the soil taught me is I need to be proud, not in a negative sense, but I need to be,
Own it.
yeah, be self-satisfied with what I'm doing, because this is the service I think I can do to the soil. I may not be, as you said, influencing so many people, but that said, a lot of people also come here to actually see and learn how we are growing. In fact, a lot of people around know about Bilva.
Yes.
They don't know me, but they know Narsreddy, Nagamma, but they know what we are doing, how we are doing. See, for the face is not important. The essence of what we are doing needs to be carried forward, and it's absolutely possible if people are willing to do it.
Amazing, no? Amazing. Um, that is, farming is never taught. You know that
Yes.
it is
Yes.
passed on from generations to generation,
Mm.
generations to generation.
Yeah.
Something we learn. There's no farming school in India. I think you are trying to farm, and only concern farming right now has is, uh, see, it doesn't have a same amount of what you call um, market pull, I should say, like engineering. It doesn't have a same market pull as doctor, same market pull as an accountant. Farmer, it requires, maybe people like you, telling, hey, we can have everything in life, we can also be farmer.
Yeah.
So that articulation is very, very difficult, some of the challenges what we face, like in farming communities, it's also happening to our farmers, age of 32, 28 to 32. They don't get grooms to marry.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I've
and
heard of this. Yeah.
okay, and um, women farmers facing that problem. Boys also facing the same problem. Okay, both grooms are not there, bridegrooms also not there. It's a deadly cocktail. Namratha, why I say this now? Out of 2,800 farmers, 900 farmers of ours are women.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Wow.
That's
and
amazing.
yeah, and farms managed by women, they are the best farms.
Yes.
I agree. I don't
Okay,
disagree.
okay.
I also
No,
agree.
no. See, this is an example. What you are seeing here is an example. It's not what we look. It's how it looks. It's what is actually happening here is very, very important. Um, so, do you think this will change? Say, I think people like you should give a different connotation to farming. Say aggressively, hey, I'm a farmer. I'm growing my food. I think you can also be a farmer, grow your food. Then, lot more young people will come into farming. And average age of an farmer in Akshayakalpa is 32.
Oh,
Okay,
Wow.
average age of an Indian farmer is 55. So that is the delta gap we need to fix. Average age of
amazing.
India is 28. So you can see here 28 average age, 55 farmer age, and young people not coming in.
How did you make that happen? Why are young people
It's economics. It's purely
purely
economics.
economics? That's the
If you
thing.
get
That's
the
why I thought.
economics of a farm organized, that's the reason I'm not saying money you pay. It's economics of the farm. From a narrative point of view, Raveen,
Yeah.
maybe organizations which are doing some work on the farming side, and individuals like Namratha who have gone a little bit out of way and started setting examples. Um, I fundamentally believe at least urban class um, who are well to do, and they can start actually giving a good narrative to farming.
Yeah.
So start from there, okay, because there's no direct dependency on farming, and farming can be a second occasion of of choice. Um, good
Someone was
foods
doing that, right? The small farms. What
Yeah,
is it?
farm is in.
Farmers.
from there, yeah. Um, that occasion of choice, okay, started giving good food to your home, and a lot of narratives are possible, and um, power couple like you and doing good job in farming, and that itself, in my opinion, um, creates that ecosystem where farming is looked in a positive light.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday night we were discussing, yesterday me and Shilpa, we were discussing, hey, I'm visiting their farm. So
Sure, come.
this one is, you always visiting other farms, do something in your farm. Okay, so,
No, but you
so
should bring her
Yeah,
first thing.
I was
I
I'll
kept.
looking
bring her.
forward for her to
No, I'll
come.
bring her, but she was busy with something else. She was going to Tiptoe. Okay,
Okay.
just thought
Oh.
I should just let her go. And she is very, very keen. Just one anecdote from our journey. Um, in midst of an Akshayakalpa journey, we owned around 3.5 acres of land, our own land. We started growing our food. Of course, we couldn't succeed growing all of it. At least we started growing paddy, some vegetables, some fruits in a remote village called Chiknalli. And to save Akshayakalpa at one point of time, I had to sell off that land. Okay, or else Akshayakalpa was almost shut down. It was 2013. It was gone, and I'd sell it off. Um, when we sold off, no, that year we had grown a little bit of a rice. Okay, around 200 kgs of rice we had grown, and that was there in our home. Okay, once after that rice got over, she refused to buy rice from outside because she was so passionate about growing rice, our own rice. I think that's what has
Yeah, I can
happened in
relate
you.
to it.
Yeah. So Raveen, do you think
I will refuse to
you
eat any other vegetable
yeah,
if
okay.
it doesn't come from here. No, but absolutely. The other thing is the appreciation is one is taste, one of course health and all of that, but so much learning for me, that uh, we were talking once about the sizes and shapes and why they're different, because
Yeah.
these are not what you get in the market, right? Finally, actually, I made one investment in that space where people actually are taking what they call these misfits
Yes. Yes.
and then delivering them. And this came actually from all the knowledge that she's been imparting to me.
Amazing.
Right. So and they're doing very well.
Which is this company?
Farm Theory.
Oh, Farm Theory. Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah. Right, Misfits is an amazing space. We also do, Misfits banana.
Yeah, I saw that.
We have in
the
our app.
Yeah.
We have got Misfits banana.
Yeah. So it's not how they look and
Yes,
how.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also, if I don't acknowledge the actual farmer,
Yes.
I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
be not being
Yeah.
fair. Yeah,
That's ready.
Nagam edi? Nagama.
So,
So they have been the biggest backbone. I think all of it wouldn't have been possible without them. I have a lot of gratitude for them, and I thank my stars every day for having them here.
But they fight also quite a bit.
I'm all the time shouting at you.
so strategy discussions.
Strategy discussion.
Uh, this brings us to very important conversation. What future holds for farming in general, and of course food in particular. One part is, can we see a mass movement in adapting, let me say, growing good food? Also, I think there's a lot of skepticism around, will you be able to grow all the food humanity needs? Maybe AI could solve some of the problems for us. There are a lot of theories. Of course, none of it is proven. What we have right now is, I think as a humanity, we understand how to grow on a soil. Okay, there's no question about that. I think we understand how to grow food on a soil, but we are hell bent on destroying where our food is grown. Okay, that's the only way we know how to grow our food at this point of time. Of course, a lot of computation power will come, lot of protein discovery will happen, okay, and huge computation power we can put, and we can probably discover new proteins, new drugs, etc. But given all these things, okay, technological advance, what we have seen, simple challenges like antimicrobial resistance. Okay, it's a very big. A lot of people don't talk. Most of the problems actually starts from the food what we are eating, amount of chemicals what we are eating, amount of sprays what we are doing, amount of antibiotics we are injecting to animals. All of it actually end of the day shows up. Um, Question to you, Raveen. Um, do you think there's a conscious attempt to look into the future and make some tangible adjustments, at least in your space? You understand investing quite well. Um, any adjustments which are happening, especially in growing food, um, especially the good food, and also future outlook?
Yeah, no, so I see this as an opportunity, tell you the truth. I think the most the narrative around eating healthy uh, has I think reached a point where there's enough momentum. What that means is that the demand side, I think, will force some things from the supply, right? Which I think is good, right? So what that will do, in my opinion, is create enough economic incentives, I think, for investors to start looking at this space very seriously. I mean, I don't know where the problem, like you're saying, so much of the soil is spoiled, so much of that is all gone. The question is, for all the food that this 8 billion people that we are requires, uh, do we have enough land to grow that food? My answer is, I would assume, is yes, right? And we probably have 2 or 3 times that, or more than that, that's available. I think the question now is really whether we are able to adapt and change to ensure that we're able to provide good food to all the 8 billion people. Um, and my belief is that as long as this momentum and demand kind of continues, they'll it will create uh, economic incentives for investors. So I'm actually very optimistic, at least.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting. We'll get back to that. I just Namrata on that point. So we still seem to be hung upon, okay, saying that supply demand.
So,
What do you think?
I think there is demand and I think there is supply also. It's just a it's just not been seen. Right? While he was saying that, I was just thinking from the demand aspect, right? So we are talking about good food. We are talking about people who are thinking about growing good food. Like I said before, there are two sections in the consumer space, right? The aware part section of the consumers and the unaware section, right? While we are talking about good food and talking about, absolute well-being, overall, all of that, I feel this bunch of aware consumers are only getting into this loop of understanding more and more why they should eat good food. Is this narrative actually reaching out to a person who don't know anything about good food at all, right? So what is the target consumer that we are looking at when we say demand? Is it demand from this section or this section? Are we even trying to explore the unaware section of the society at all? So my question is, what is it that the demand is? What demand are we talking about, right? Again, the same applies to supply as well. There is, I mean, if for me, if I look at today, like sitting here, I can think of 5 sources where I can source fruits, 5 sources where I can source vegetables. Good food, good food, right? At the same time, of course, I can say every corner shop has fruits and vegetables. I also have access to, I won't call it unhealthy, but the other side of the food as well, right? So again, where is the connection? Where are we building this connection, right? And at least in the supply side, it's about making farmers, more aware about growing organic. But in the demand side, there's a clear bifurcation where I think the market has not tapped into at all.
So, just on the same point now, supply demand. Coming back to that question, just on the back of what Namrata is saying. See, my belief, Raveen, is at least in the country, a lot of fence sitting is happening. Okay, a lot of fence sitting. Okay, somebody will solve this problem. Okay, let me piggyback on that.
Correct.
That kind of a fence sitting, especially in investors' world. Um, we can't say they are wrong, but I'm saying it is fence sitting. Uh, what both of you, maybe Namrata has done last from 2018 onwards, is mind blowing there.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's very difficult to understand what has gone in there from investors' perspective. Um, even even there are a lot of good companies in the farming area. One company I know, Bhumi Farms. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a struggling company, but what he has done in vegetables and green growing space, exactly what Namrata has done. Okay, in a quarter acre, 1 acre land, what she has done, but there are not many backers. Okay, for them. Um, so other day, as I mentioned, there's a conversation. I asked them who will solve this problem. The answer was very brutal and blatant, saying that first 10 years, okay, 12 years is a very difficult journey. Somehow we hope somebody will come and do some miracle. Then I will piggyback that idea. But isn't it? Don't you think it will be very late?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, completely. I think people like you, like Akshayakalpa, who are able to create examples, I think are the road for VCs to start investing, right? So once you create an example of saying I can create a um, a clean brand, right, of milk, of everything else, and it's economically viable, can actually make make money. I think that these are the examples that we need that will allow other VCs to actually make these bets. And I'm seeing that already, right? I mean, just at the back of Akshayakalpa, we've seen, in the D2C event that we went for. There's so many companies that are doing in a small way, right? My belief is that they will start getting, funding just because now they know at least one path, a viable path. They've seen one path. There were no examples before this, right? Of someone doing something like this. Um,
Very interesting. Even those small ideas tomorrow might become something big.
yeah, like how you were in 2013, 14,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So at least we didn't see a path to viability. It's the last 16 years it has taken. So one more question to you, Namrata. So do you think your daughter would take it up, farming?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hope so. But so when she was small,
Mm.
she would love to come here and spend time. But now because of all the
Priorities.
pressures and priorities, she's not interested in coming. So we sometimes make an effort saying because she likes her friends, we bring her
Mm.
along with her friends so that they all see what is happening. Um, I think as I already mentioned, children grow up. That's how my journey started, like how I grew up looking at my parents growing food. And hopefully someday she's seeing us growing our own food and take it up.
Yeah, I am very hopeful. I think we should also need to do a lot more. We haven't done enough. Um, and Namrata does all the work here, but Suti doesn't see it. She sees, I mean, the food that comes and she's happy with that, right? But
Or maybe she does, we don't know. We never asked.
but I think we have to also do a lot more um, to make it happen. Will she take it up as a? But your question is different. Will she take this up as a profession?
Yes.
Um, it's it's not cool. The problem is you're still right. It's not even in the top 20 if you ask kids.
Yes.
It's not there.
Yes.
Farming is not there in the top 20. How does it become in the top 20? I don't know the answer to that, and that's what needs to happen.
You're so right. So, these schools, they come up with a list of, they take the occupation of parents to see how the parents can mentor children who are interested in that particular thing. And they gave us a list. There was no agriculture in the list. And I wrote back saying, why is agriculture not there? No children are interested. That's why we have in.
Wow.
Said if you do not expose them to such an activity, which is the most important, the basis of life, how will they even know about it, and why will they be interested in it, right?
That's the current room, no? We expect kids to know about it, but there's no exposure, and parents generally not interested because they don't know. So how this entire thing would chug along, we don't know. But some of the work what you're doing with children, do you think you can inspire them in that part?
Yeah, in fact, what you said about children is, that somebody said we want somebody else to take it up and we'll back it later, right? And that's exactly what we are working on in our organization at CMCA. So CMCA stands for Children's Movement for Civic Awareness. So at CMCA, what we do is we actually nurture children to build confidence and be, citizens, be future ready, and also tell, make them aware that they are already citizens. They are already important element of the society, right? And how they develop critical thinking, problem solving ability, build that confidence, understanding what their rights are, and also understanding that rights come with responsibilities, right? So that's what we do at CMCA through our curriculum, through pedagogy, through role plays, through stories, right? And of course when all of this comes, the civic knowledge, the social responsibility, food is big part of all of it, right? So and our focus is mainly also on critical thinking and problem solving, which I think is which we all know it's lacking in the society because everybody is looking for somebody else to solve the problem and nobody wants to step forward to do it. Yeah.
Interesting. And
But it
we also
requires separate program, no? This in schools, something to talk about.
no, for example, some of the work what we are doing on Good Food for Schools, this is what we are doing.
Oh,
It's a 5-week program, and you don't need to invest a lot of money. You just have some 10,000 rupees. You can actually demonstrate this entire thing in a Good Food for Schools, where in 5 weeks you can grow a little bit of a greens and show kids how to grow greens. Simple raised bed. Um, and at the end of 5th week, children's harvest invite their parents and show what they can do.
Nice.
Very simple interventions. Now, right now, we are doing in around 9 government schools in and around.
oh, very nice.
Where do we? And of course, some schools in Bangalore, some
Nice.
schools in Chennai, and schools in Hyderabad.
So nice.
It's under the foundation umbrella. We have started doing that. But these are they're very, very small
Yeah.
initiatives. Okay, I don't think it's a mass movement per se. It will take some time. But I also know, okay, for some schools, recently I was in a school called Shloka. It's an Waldorf school in Hyderabad.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've heard of them.
yeah, recently,
Local.
and they
Yeah.
actively teach children farming.
Nice.
Actively, it's part of the
Curriculum.
curriculum. And so
That is good.
Yeah, that's interesting initiatives like that.
Correct.
And recently, one school in Hyderabad, where we did a good food for schools program. They made it as a documentary and went and participated somewhere in Singapore. They got a gold medal
Wow.
in terms of how children can start, okay, thinking about farming.
Yeah.
So these are some examples. I believe it needs to be taken to schools and say, hey, there's a value for your school also.
Right.
It's because every intervention is seen as what is there in for the school. So school gets a name. It's very, very important. But newer circles also, any discussions on food, for example, you get and discuss a lot of tech, okay, a lot of AI. Now you started a AI startup, and also your investment thesis.
Yeah.
Does this figure, this children food, good food?
So interestingly, the RDI, which is the government thing, if you actually look at their within AI also, they're looking at AI for agriculture, right? That's a very important,
Yes.
uh, I guess, sector that they want VCs to look at. So they're the fund of funds,
Yes.
right? But they want a VC to have a very strong thesis around AI for agriculture, right? Um, which is I think very interesting, right? I think there's so much that can be done to make uh, I think multiple, right, through the chain, the whole chain, plus also there's the farmer, right, that can be simplified. Um, so yeah, it's definitely a narrative is there. The question is from narrative, does it create enough impact? Like I did, multiple companies, in this space have funded, right? Input companies, and because actually this comes from a lot of, talk, right? But none of them have actually been able to have any great impact. Even if you, I mean, there are enough examples that also do the market connect, they've not done great impact. But I think technology um, to build in efficiency within farming, I think it's been happening for a long time, right? I mean, we know um, Japan and all of these countries, I think, do a phenomenal job of that. Um, so I'm more worried about adoption than the technology itself. The technology will be created. I'm worried about the final adoption of this technology.
I think one of the biggest challenges, especially in agriculture, Indian context, smallholder farmers,
Yeah,
and their willingness to pay for the tech, and also they don't see any physical, tangible outputs coming from
correct.
that.
They don't see.
So therefore, they don't pay for it. One aspect of is technology being useful to extension services like Akshayakalpa. We invest heavily on technology
Correct.
for using in outreach programs, extension
Yeah.
services, so that on behalf of the farmer we use the tech, okay, and make decisions for them.
Oh,
That's one area
That's
which is
one. Yeah.
developing fast,
Correct.
very, very fast. Um, Hopefully, we should be able to get a small rural farmer into that purview and start looking into the soil, start looking into the seeds, start looking into the very interventions which are happening at the farm level, there's some change will definitely happen. The future, I'm very, very hopeful that technology would make in a lot of changes.
Yeah, yeah, and it's good to see the RDA actually focusing saying AI
Yes.
for agriculture, AI for healthcare. There's only two things.
Yes.
They don't care about any other AI,
Yes.
right? So which is good.
It's very important, at least very
Yeah.
important articulation. This segues into one more topic, which is both of you. How much concerned you are about, let me say, AMR, from a purely from a investment angle and also being a consumer. So, is that awareness exists?
Of what?
And antimicrobial resistance.
Ah,
Okay.
it.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
if you go to Google and search antimicrobial resistance, the first hit, okay, is from United Nations, website saying, okay, biggest threat to
Yeah.
human food security is AMR right now.
Yeah.
Any investments in that direction?
I haven't thought about it, Shashi, to tell the
Okay.
absolute truth. But I know, I mean, we talk about it because, of, but I haven't given enough thesis wise, I haven't given it a thought.
Yeah, actually, me neither, because that's too far away from what we do. Of course, it is impacting ecologically and for the climate and all of that when it's used, but um, really haven't put in a thought on.
No, a very simple way to think of it is, for example, you get a disease and you
Yeah,
need to use a drug.
Yeah.
The drug doesn't respond
Yeah, absolutely.
because
Yeah, yeah.
No.
you already resistance has
Resistance.
been built in
Correct, correct.
your body. So
Yeah.
as simple
Yeah, like
definition as that.
antibiotic
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's scary as hell, right?
Yeah. Like for example, food what you're growing is the most traceable possible.
Yeah.
Okay, you know the soil, what you're giving to the soil,
right.
and you're growing your food and you're taking to your home.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's the future, in my opinion. Food becoming extremely traceable. I
absolutely.
think people are becoming cautious, asking right questions. So you go to your grocer every time, ask which farmer grew it, where it was grown.
No, I know.
Keep asking.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Good
as you're
point.
saying now,
Yeah, yeah.
I think pressure will build.
Yeah.
I think
Everybody should
also
ask.
it should come as a compliance. I think government should say every supermarket that has food has to show a traceability tag, for example.
You know, I
Right.
Yeah,
think
they
government is
should, but
listening. Recently, we got a note from FSSI, okay, Delhi office, saying, can you explain, you have written a label, okay, on your milk packet, it's antibiotic free. Can you explain? Okay, we don't mandate as an FSSI to put antibiotic free as a label, but you have put it on the label. Can you explain how do you do it? Means they are listening.
very good.
They are listening.
That's
and
amazing.
we wrote entire steps we follow.
Wow.
What happens at a farm level? What happens when you inject a antibiotic to the
Very
cow?
nice.
What are the steps taken? So therefore, it was a note from a consultative committee. Okay, they wrote to us and we replied back. So therefore, I think from a compliance point of view, people are listening. So
Yeah.
that's how I really look at it.
Yeah. As long as there's more education, people are demanding it.
Yes.
I think the government has to act.
Yes.
Supply has to act.
No, government is acting. Uh, I think some of the fundamental changes looking for the future, how the food is shaping up. Some of the labeling laws, okay, they are changing drastically. It's
Yeah.
good for the food ecosystem. Second thing is um, the traceability to systems and quality which FSSAI built from last 4 to 5 years is mind blowing. Now any officer can go to an inspection, and if he finds anything, everything is online.
Nice.
Okay, there's nothing separate reports you can. Okay, they got an online portal now. Everything gets recorded there.
Nice.
And they started grading the food operators. Okay, in terms of they gave a scale of 106. How many marks you score, and it is a publicly available data.
Right.
So I think the future, in my opinion, is very, very bright. But the question here is, will the industry respond? Investors respond? All the consumers, how do they see these changes?
Yeah.
Is what I think the future of food is.
So till now, if you look at India, right, what is happening is that most of the investment was happening not in preventive, but it was happening post.
Yes.
Right? That is where all the hospitals are
Yes,
making money,
yes.
clinics are making money. Once you get something, then you go. But if you look at the last 5-7 years, there's been a lot of investment in the preventive space,
Yes.
right? And obviously, food, health, all of these are actually very important part of preventive,
Correct.
right? So my belief is that any healthcare investor will start looking at food. Any food investor will start looking at health, right? They're just going to be interrelated.
I think it's very interesting. Other day when I was talking to you, very important point you made. So how much show off you can do on money?
Yeah,
I think next show off is health.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
big
yeah,
flex.
yeah, big flex. That's what you mentioned.
Yeah,
I forgot that specific word, but I
yeah.
remember.
It's big.
Yeah.
Everyone, health is
Yes.
at least in Bangalore for now.
Yes.
And food is so important.
Yes.
I mean, among many of my friends, actually mostly the girls though, they talk about exactly, how much food, what they eat, exactly how they're making. Like even Shashank won't like this, but even if they're making protein powder, they're like, they don't want to do protein powder. They're making their own protein
Wow.
shakes, right? Kavita was saying she makes her own with things.
Yeah.
It's because people are scared of
Yeah.
protein shakes and all of that. But I think people like Whole Food, of course, you have to trust them and that they're putting
Yeah.
all the right ingredients.
Yeah, again, that comes back to understanding the source, right? What we have been talking about, even with protein powder, even with any product as such, if you understand where it is coming from, who is growing it, understanding the source,
Yeah, yeah. But the risk
then
there
the
is
confidence
the
improves.
risk is that is in processing, but it's okay.
And
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of changes in new age food brands.
Yeah.
Whole Truth is a good example. Okay.
Whole
If
truth.
yeah, Whole Truth is a good example where you can curate ingredients. I think the product might not be very super delicious, but it's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is able to say that statement powerfully.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
how.
And also people like that, this food farmer guy.
Yes. Yes. It's amazing work what he's
Amazing
doing.
work he's doing. So
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
at
Who
least
is he?
he's an Instagrammer or whatever
Yeah.
he's called. I don't know what YouTube, I don't know what he is. But basically he exposes a lot of this and he
Oh.
talks about it. He does research.
And basically, he picks up a label
Okay.
and reads that label and interprets that label.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what is good in that label? What is not good in that label? You have written something in the label, but in the front of pack, you write something else. For example, you say it is a protein bar. Okay, it goes in the back and says only 1% is protein.
Yeah.
But why are you writing it is a protein bar? Okay, so likewise, okay, just simple example. Okay, I gave. He's done a good job.
Yeah,
I think,
Revan's very good guy.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on Instagram because along with good food,
Good minds also
good
needed.
mind is important and keep
Okay.
away from social media.
No, but read about food farmer guy Revan.
I'll
LinkedIn
read
also
about
he's there.
them.
He's
Yeah, I'll
very
read
good.
about them.
Nice guy, very nice guy. I
Yeah.
like him a lot. Because he brought in like a kind of awareness levels to the highest possible level.
Correct.
I think social media is extremely powerful. We should use it
Yeah.
and reach out to masses.
Correct.
Very powerful tool at this point of time. In that movie, basically you
Human in the loop.
outsource all the AI training job to some call centers in villages. Okay, you go and they'll give you a lot of pictures. You mark it as, oh, this is bug.
Yeah.
Okay, this is that one, this is that one.
Of course.
So that to make AI learn. That's exactly only AI can learn.
Absolutely.
There's no other intelligence to learn. In the process, okay, it's a very interesting observation that girl makes who is training AI. And some instructions were given. This has to be marked as bug. She doesn't mark it as a bug. She says it's not a bug. And later on, a quality report says you have wrongly marked it. The supervisor calls and actually puts a lot of bad words on her face, saying that why are you doing it?
Yeah.
But she says, मुझे मालूम है ये bug नहीं है. Because she is from that village, she has that inherent knowledge. So those are the
Wow.
the amazing, at least for me, the amazing narrative where AI can actually go wrong.
So AI can go wrong. AI is completely dependent. It's like humans only. We can. I
Yes.
mean, we will go. It's trained by us. This is where I think a little bit of law I think is needed at is really important at this point because one human making a as in general in life I'm saying human make a mistake, it's the impact is small, right? But when AI makes a mistake, the impact is just so much larger. So it's scary. It's scary, but but we all pray that it will be used for good, right? Because it is very useful.
I believe this has been a candid conversation.
Yes,
Uh,
that's the only
and
thing we know how to do.
examples like you are required, at
I
least
agree.
for urban spaces. Anyway, thank you.
Let's go have
Thank you.
lunch.
Yeah.